Hi, thank you so much for making the time to come meet with me today.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
I am so excited to hear your thoughts and feedback about your experience with Recast Success today. Um, for all of the people that don't have the pleasure of already knowing you, could you provide a little background information and a small bio about yourself?
Sure. Yeah. Hi. So I'm Kimberly Renee Knowles, and currently I've been working in the higher ed industry as a student retention advisor coach for the last 15 years. And I'm thinking about transitioning into customer success management when my family and I moved to the Chicago area this summer. And so that was, that's kind of my goal at the moment.
That is so wonderful. You're going to love Chicago, especially in the summer. Great time to move there.
Yeah.
So in customer success, one of the first things that we always want to do are identify customers' key pain points. So Kimberly Renee Knowles, can you please share with me what was your key pain point that led you to using Recast Success to as a solution?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's several. So I do feel like I have a lot of transferable skills to go into customer success, like things like problem solving and relationship building and, being in a kind of a customer front-facing service type of role. But clearly there are differences in working with students versus working with, actual companies that have multiple stakeholders. And as I prepared to transition, I feel kind of nervous about like, will employers see the value that I can bring, and will they feel nervous that maybe I don't have enough background in the specific fundamentals of customer success? Because while I do create like success plans in an informal way with students, like I'm not doing things like QB, like quarterly business reviews, and I'm dealing with more of like an undergraduate versus different layers of the business. And so one big pain point was just really wanting to learn more about customer success and kind of fill in the gaps, and also to find a way to make that more evident to companies that I might be applying with. And so I was trying to figure out some ways that I could do that. And also I felt like in the fall, I started learning about customer success, and sometimes I feel like I'm just all over the place. Like I'll be like, oh, I'll do this course, and oh, I'll go network with this person, and so I felt like I needed some structure in my job search.
I love that. So I heard that you mentioned the word nerves a lot in,
Yeah.
in prior to the Recast Success decision. How has Recast Success worked with your initial nerves and helped to make an impact on those? How has Recast Success made an impact on the initial nerves that you had regarding your transition?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I would say working with the instructors and the founders of the program, and our instructors in the course has just really increased my confidence a lot in myself and in my knowledge of customer success, because, it's a 10-week program. And so as we've been going through each of the modules, I've been learning, specific things that I might encounter on the job, from, learning about the personas and company stakeholders, kind of learning who they are and how to craft my message to work with them, and how to do things like actually doing a quarterly business review. And so both kind of the learning and the doing has really made me feel like, wow, I can do this, and I've given this a try, and I have specific experiences I can speak to with employers. And so it's just made me a lot more confident, which has helped with my nerves. And then also just getting to know other people that are going through a similar transition has made me feel like I'm not crazy, and I'm not alone, and I'm surrounded by a community that has similar goals, and in terms of the alumni who've gone through the program who've actually been successful in transitioning into customer success.
So it sounds like Recast Success really helped to empower you in feeling like you can take on this new challenge.
Yeah, that's a great word for it. I definitely feel very empowered and inspired, and yeah, kind of like much more ready to tackle interviewing for positions and applying for positions in the field.
And I'm so glad that you mentioned the Recast Success cohort. So one of the one of the aspects of the program that we love is that it is a wraparound mentoring service for CSMs as they obtain their position. Could you talk a little bit more about how the cohort and community has helped to positively impact your experience with RecastSuccess?
Yeah, I would say that's a huge selling point of the program for me because, I've learned a lot from the different perspectives that each of my cohort members have brought to our class because, there's people who are transitioning from education and transitioning from, more customer support roles and, kind of project management. And so, each of them bring a different lens to customer success that I don't have. And I've learned a lot from the questions they've asked and the way they've approached our class kind of exercises and activities. And then I forgot to mention, but in addition to the actual classwork, there's these mock interview sessions that they hold twice a week. And those have been really great because, we've all taken our stab at answering typical interview questions. And so it's been great for me to practice in kind of a safer and supportive setting, and to also, again, see how my classmates answer a question, because they might come up, some of the many cases they've come up with responses that I wouldn't have thought of, and I thought, like, wow, that's a great way to answer that. I'm going to jot that down, so if I get that in a real interview, I can borrow some of that greatness. And then the alumni have really been present in different ways throughout the program as well. Like, I've been able to connect with some of them on LinkedIn, and they've been really supportive and welcoming and willing to share things that they've learned along the way. And RecastSuccess has done a really great job of videotaping some of them. So they, if they couldn't fully be present at one of our class sessions, they will often bring in, like, for instance, there was this one woman who is really strong at storytelling through data. And so they recorded some of her wisdom and like tips for being a data whiz. And so it's really been great to learn in a variety of ways from the alumni, and to really see the alumni and their dedication to the program, that they're not just forgetting, they're paying it forward to those of us who are coming after them.
I love that. Thank you so much. And I love that you highlighted the diversity of experiences of people that are participating in RecastSuccess. If you had a friend that was contemplating a transition into customer success, what are the things that you would highlight about the program to them and encouraging them to participate? Would you encourage them to participate?
I definitely would. In fact, I already have. I often receive questions and messages from people who are thinking about transitioning into customer success. And I have a number of different communities and resources that I share with them. But one of the things, like some of the things that I really share about RecastSuccess that I think make that a really excellent program. One of the biggest things is actually the homework. It might sound crazy, people don't typically like homework, and I'm not going to lie, it has definitely taken a few hours out of my week every week. But I've done a few other, like I did, there's a success coaching program that teaches people about customer success, and there's things I like about that program, but I didn't find the practical application to be as great as it is in RecastSuccess. For instance, when we did that quarterly business review presentation, I actually got to give a presentation, and instead of just sort of hypothetically trying to think of some data to present on, I was given an actual company and an actual scenario and some actual data to dig into, which was really great, because a lot of times other people in other programs will say, wow, try doing this, think of an example from your own work and, apply this principle. Well, I don't work in customer success. And so sometimes those have been really difficult, but RecastSuccess is really tapped into what it's like to be a career transitioner. And they go that extra mile when they think of their homework assignments to give you everything you need to complete the assessment, and actually practice and try on what it would be like to be a customer success manager. So that's one of the biggest selling points for me, for sure. A second thing that I like to share is the cohort model and the structure of it. I've looked at other programs that most of the other programs that I've done have been asynchronous because they're cheaper. Typically, it's cheaper to do an asynchronous model, but I think you really learn a lot in a cohort and in live instruction, even via Zoom, just being able to ask questions. And so RecastSuccess has has created a way to make that accessible for people from all different income levels. Like for me, you know, putting $2,000 right off the bat towards a training program just isn't in my budget right now. But what RecastSuccess does is they have a pricing model where you can pay a little bit upfront and then pay over time once you actually get your new job. And so that was really the clincher for me, because I was like, wow, this is the type of experience I've been looking for and have kind of felt was out of my price range. But the way that they structured the payment plan made it, you know, something that I could actually sign up for and benefit from.
I love that you highlighted the difference that we have with other training programs. And you're right. While they might be cheaper, I think that you definitely, like you said, we pride ourselves with our synchronous presentations that we do with our cohort, and it's very engaging for our staff as well to learn in live with all of the people and get those ideas in. Kimberly, we cannot say thank you enough for agreeing to participate in this testimonial with us and for being a part of our RecastSuccess family. I wish you every success in your job hunt, and I know that you will kill it.
Excellent. Thank you.